What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Summer Career Mode. It's episode number 29. Terrible, diabolical start for Oxford United for our second year in the Premier League. 4-0 thrashing on the opening day at home to Newcastle, and it's not going to get any easier as we now take on the champions away. Yeah, Liverpool, our first game of many today as we'll wrap up the summer window. I don't think we'll make any more signings now. I think we're done for transfer business, but what we do want are our first good youth players of the season, and that's what we'll be really hoping for. Plus, of course, those first Premier League points, so I don't think they'll come here. First game Liverpool away at Anfield. Come on, the Wolves. And the thing that's really going to help us this year as well is that the teams that have come up from last year's championship are actually lower rated than the three teams that got relegated last year. And we survived last year, so with us getting stronger for this year, you would assume that we've got more of a chance of surviving this year than we did last year. So the teams that came up, Ipswich, Burnley, and I think it's Sheffield United, well, we've got a higher rated team compared to all three of those sides. And if we were able to survive last year, then yeah, with us getting better this season, I feel confident we can do it again. What we do need to do, oh come on, is score more goals. 21 for the season last year. We got to improve on that. Tyrese gets our first. Oxford's done Anfield silent. And I opted for Cumming between the sticks in this game as well. His first game since returning from the loan spell at Celtic. But yeah, I don't think Gray is the reason why last season we had a terrible defensive record. As Jamie says, well, maybe he is gaffer. Throw me back in as your loyal number one. But yeah, I think in some games that incredibly low overall, which is now up to 68 to be fair, it's a little bit better, was, you know, not ideal. Cumming is now 73 since the loan spell, and he's made a brilliant save there to keep it at 1-0. Yeah, this season, I don't think Chad is nailed on to be my starter like he was last year. I'm having to give Cumming a bit more game time this season. And in this one, he's keeping us still leading by one. On the face to Nusa. And that's a brilliant ball through to Victor. Cumming once again. Cumming once again. He has made a couple of brilliant saves, but I've given Liverpool a chance straight away. Salah from this range is so lethal though, and he ain't going to stop that one. Mo wearing the late, great Diogo Jota's iconic number 20, now of course retired in real life. Bends one in for Liverpool's leveller. Yeah, it was coming. It was coming, and nothing that Cumming could do about that. Well, whilst our wait for a win against a traditional top 6 team in the save goes on, it's worth pointing out we've had draws against Liverpool. 2 of the 3 times we faced them. We've drawn against Chelsea away, we've drawn against Arsenal at home. We're not getting turned over by these teams, and that's a really credible point there for our first of the season. Right, let's move to the following game, Tuesday night, Carabao Cup, Fleetwood Town, and obviously a much rotated side for this one here as well. But of course, as it is season 4, don't forget the rules that in the Cup, we have to play at least 3 of our youth players. So I actually don't know who we're going to feature in this game, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, Fleetwood in the Cup. I'd love a good Cup run just like last season. Come on, the U's. So I went with Dior, Chad, yes, and Teddy for this game as Daniel Jefferson gets his first goal in an Oxford United shirt as well. But I'm going to have to recall at least one player because it means that basically we've got 5 youth players in the team right now. The 3 that are starting today, and then of course you've got Higgins and Amin as well. But because the rule is we need to start 4 every single game in the league, let's say hypothetically one of those 5 players gets injured, well, we're kind of screwed at that point because that means every single game we'll have to play every one of the fit and available youth players. And that's a recipe for disaster when it comes down to form, fatigue, and also potential injuries as well. So, yeah, I think after this game, good save, Chad. I'll have to recall at least one of our youth players. And I think it will be Juanid as well. That Bangladeshi fullback has grown brilliantly out in China. Up to 71 overall now, looking really good. It's such a difficult challenge this, I have to say, but it's been really enjoyable. And again, I've had a few of you guys in the comments and also in my DMs as well, messaging me and sharing some screenshots from your saves too. Honestly, it's great to see how many of you guys are trying this as well. Genuinely, I recommend it a lot. If you're looking for one final save before FC 26, it's Jebison. Should have got his second goal in half an hour. Give this a go. It's a tough challenge. It's a really difficult challenge, but it's a really fun one as well. If I was doing this over, what I would do is probably start in a lower league, so that way I'll be able to develop my youth players without feeling like it's such a big disadvantage when I get to a level like this, when the youth players are still quite lowly rated. So for next season, for example, next year FC26, I'll definitely do this again, and I'll probably start in League 2 or possibly League 1. But yeah, it's a really fun project and challenge. This I highly recommend you guys give this a go if you haven't yet. And again, if we're playing these cup games in the week as well, and I need to keep on using the youth players too for the rule. A man called surely this time, son, finally. Yeah, they're going to get gassed playing midweek games and weekend games as well. So I'm definitely going to recall at least 1 or 2 of my youth players now. I don't regret sending Warner out on loan to Leeds because I need to kickstart that growth again. But yeah, 5 is just not enough when you've got to use 4 minimum. It's great though. Like again, it's oh, what a tackle, man! It's been a really fun project. This I have to tell you, like. This year in FC25, like it's been a challenging game for me. Like I'm not gonna lie, and I've talked about it at length, man. This has been probably my least favourite FC to play in the entire franchise. But it is nice to know there have been a couple of saves in this FC that I have quite enjoyed. A lot of them I haven't, but I love the Plymouth Argyle save early this year. I really enjoy Mönchengladbach save, and I'm really enjoying this save as well. And the one thing I'm learning in 2 of those 3 saves there, the reason why I've enjoyed it so much is because the youth players have been so heavily prevalent when it comes down to featuring in my teams, not just at the start, but throughout the save as well. I think that's the one regret I've had in FC25 that could have made the game a bit more enjoyable for me to play, and it's a lesson I'll take into FC26 as well. I've got to get back to what made docs on YouTube a career mode experience, which was the youth players, the heroes. I didn't do that as much this year. That's my regret. That's on me as well. That's my fault. Still can't see us getting through the following round, which is Manchester United away at Old Trafford, and into the following game. Everton at home go for our first Premier League win this season. Speaking of the Toffees as well, can't wait for tomorrow, man. Their first Premier League game at the new Bramley Moore Dock Stadium, or the Hill Dickinson Stadium, I think it's called now. But yeah, really excited for it, man. And hopefully David Moyes can get his first Premier League points there tomorrow. But today, I'm hoping we won't see him get any at the Cassound Stadium. At some point, we'll move to our new stadium. When that is, we don't know yet, but it is in the planning. Don't worry about that. Anyway, following game, Toffees at home. Come on, Hughes. I thought they were very unlucky on Monday night, Everton as well, against Leeds. I don't think it was a penalty, personally. I mean, it's one of those where it's like, you can see why it's given, but in the VAR era, like, I see why it's given, but I think in the pre-VAR era, as Higgins almost belted in a very early opening goal, I don't think that gets given the majority of the time, you know. And my co-worker made a good point about this, which is that everything looks worse in slow motion. And I think it's why VAR are giving a lot of infringements nowadays that previously they wouldn't have done so, because I never really thought about this, but it's true. When you look at things in slow motion, things just seem to look worse or more deliberate. For example, like shots from range, for example. Sometimes if it goes in, you think, oh, keeper could have done better there. But it's only on slow motion when you think that. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those, really. But having said that, I thought Lee still deserved to win regardless. But anyway, there's Higgins. Oh, I was going to say belts in the opener, but puts it onto the post. But I think Everton will be fine. You know, obviously opening day defeats are always hurtful when it's against a newly promoted team. But I think Everton will be fine. I'm excited to watch them this season. I think they'll build on last season too. Yeah, I wouldn't worry if I were you Everton fans. I think it'll be fine personally. Don't think there's any danger of you lot going down this year. But the one thing I am worried about is Oxford United once again failing to score a goal. For the second game in our first 3 in the Premier League, I mean, it's only 1 goal in 3 in the league to start off with. It's just not going to cut it, really. That's an easy save for coming. Just not going to cut it. And, you know, for this season, I spent big on Harris and Forson. I was thinking I need more creativity for Higgins, but also players who can score as well. Well, at the moment, it's just not working at all. But there's still time to find a winner here. Higgins, quick little prod through to Tyrese, who scored at Anfield. And, oh, should have had the assist. A rare game where Higgins is misfiring. I've called him the boy wonder, but today he was the boy blunder. And late on, the Toffees could win this, and they have. Could you believe it? Only proper chance, and they take it. And it's why in this division, as we always say it, you have to take your chances, otherwise you'll be punished. You might get away with it in the EFL, you don't get away with it in the Premier League. Dwight McNeil blasts in a late winner, and Everton steal 2 extra points right at the death. Same old story for Oxford United. can't score, can't take our chances, and thus can't win enough. That is sickening. So deadline day is here. We haven't got any money to sign any players, but I did say I was probably going to recall 1 or 2 of our youth players, and I think I definitely will as well, because we need a bit more in terms of squad depth here. Quick loan watch for you as well. Again, Bookcast has grown 8, Simon's grown 4, Samuelson's now got up by 5 as well, and this is why I keep on saying it, man. Loaning your youth players, in my opinion, is the best thing to do for that possible overall spike. You don't always get it, but sometimes you do. But the player I will recall is going to be Juan Utd. He's back in January anyway. I don't think he's going to get any better than 71 overall now, so I might as well have him now for the whole of the season and not just half of it. So Juan Utd will come back, and I actually think personally he's a left-footed right back. What I'm going to do is start him at left back ahead of Curry as well. Curry's not growing anymore. He's 8 years younger, sorry. And he is a youth player as well. So what I'm going to do is convert him to left back. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes people ask me, Doxy, does it matter if I've got a right back and I'm playing him left back or vice versa? No, it doesn't really matter at all. But for aesthetics, I'll convert him to a left back. But yeah, I think now that's the next man in our team for this season, Juan Utd. And so, as deadline day comes to an end, Federico Di Marco joins Arsenal for £72.8 million. Antonio Silva joins Newcastle. What a coup that is, £72.2 million. Kirkes continuing to move around England. Now he's gone from Chelsea to Brighton for £62.4 million. Yeah, I'm liking the team for season 4. Again, it's slightly better than last season. And even though it's been a tough start to the campaign, as we're expecting, I think we will be alright this year. I think we'll get enough points to survive. And again, it's worth pointing out that the 3 teams that came up last season were actually higher rated than. So yeah, I do expect us to get enough points to survive this season. But I don't want to have the kind of season, or the start of the season like last year, where it took us about 6 games for our first Premier League win. I'd quite like to get one a little bit quicker this season if we can. And maybe here as well. Following game away in West London, Brentford. Oh, before we get there though, 3 more youth scouting updates. Of course, let's see what we got. Where from Nepal, it's not been a great start so far. He could be quite good, but for now we'll just continue the scouting. And from Australia, 2 really good youth players here, but for now we'll just continue scouting. And last month's mission to Serbia found us a couple of really, really class players who still look really good as well. But for now, again, we'll just keep scouting. We can afford to be super selective now in season 4 and look for the creme de la creme. These 2 will probably make it, at least one of them, but for now we'll just continue to scout. Right, following game, yeah, let's move into it. It's Brentford away at the GTEC. We'll do 2 or 3 more games today. Heading into this one, West London against not Thomas Frank's side now, Keith Andrews' side, going for our first 3 points of the campaign. A big victory, and what I really want more than anything is just to go for the goals, because it's been once again a really tough start in front of goal. I do not want to have another season like last year, where we only scored 21 for the entire campaign. Let's get goals 2, 3, and possibly 4 today in the capital. Come on, use. Rico Henry charging down the left-hand side, showing he's still got that pace. As he pops it to the edge, there's Fabio Carvalho. Lovely offload. Gray with the save at the near post. Put him in for coming. I think I'm going to rotate he and Jamie throughout the course of the year. Not really have a set number 1, which I very rarely do, as Chad does very well there. But for this season, might be, oh dear, might be the best thing to do. But that is it was always a really silly goal to concede. Thankfully, Gray bails me out after making a stupid error. 26 minutes in. Got to cut out those errors as well, man. Like, seriously. Like we just said against Everton, you can't get away with this in the Premier League. Oh, yeah, nice ball through. Pert Harris offloads. Konate, who tore me apart last season. I think it was at the GTEC, or it might be in the Newcastle actually. Offloads to Minter, and there's the opening goal. B's in front right before the break. I'll maintain this. I think we'll be fine this season, but like last year, it's been a terrible, terrible start. And that's why the Everton loss was so frustrating, because there's not going to be many games this season where we are the... Oh, how has that gone in? The clear better team. So you can't lose those games, let alone fail to win them. But Brentford are 2-0 up. And I want to see this on the replay, man, because the strike from range, I swear, took a nick off Brodie Spencer, who went for his best Superman impression. And I think it did just deflect past Chad Gray and into the back of the net. Individual errors, missed opportunities. That is how we are failing to get out of the blocks this season. Yep, Spencer claims the own goal. This is terrible. Just like last, it's deja vu. Oh dear, 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 dear me. How easy is that? It is literally just right trigger, run the way through. Minte, who's known for that kind of play, to be fair. But that is embarrassing. Literally just letting him through. 3-0 Brentford, game over. I'm definitely not ending on this. I was thinking if we get a win here, I might end on a high. This is as low as it gets. Pathetic performance. And it's worth pointing out as well that Michael Higgins, if you carry on from last season, has had a really, really barren run in terms of goal scoring. He's got the assist for a consolation now, though it's all it's going to be. Yeah, if you carry on from last season, the only goal he got towards the end of the season was on the final day against Newcastle. But this year, no goals in the first 4, and that was only 1 goal, I think, back then in 6 or 7. So only 1 goal in around 11 Premier League games continuously. Michael Higgins was the star of the team, but now that star is seeming like it's fading. Hopefully just a bit of a blip from the boy wonder. Yeah, we'll definitely do one more game today. Manchester United heading into this one here. Well, I was going to say, I don't think we've got much chance, but it's worth pointing out that so far our only point this year has come against Liverpool away at Anfield. So I guess we seem to save our best performances for what are the bigger clubs in England. Following game, probably our final one today. We've got Manchester United back-to-back, but this is in the league. Come on, News. Yeah, you don't want to leave it too late to get your first Premier League win. You want to make sure you get it as early as possible to get some confidence for the season up ahead, you know, because you know it's going to be a tough one regardless, especially when you were considered one of the weaker sides in the division. So, yeah, that's why I think it was so important for Sunderland and Leeds to get those wins on the opening day, or in Leeds' case, opening night, to give the fans more confidence that this year they can survive. And obviously, Burnley will be hoping it won't be too long before they get there first as well. What I really want, yes, is this man getting back on the score sheet. I said he'd get one eventually. Form is temporary, class is permanent. They don't call him the boy wonder for nothing. So second half begins and the crop circle is back, I've noticed. There it is, the crop circle. This is a common glitch. I don't know if you guys have experienced it yet, but when you skip past the hypermotion replays too quickly, it'll flash up and just stay there basically. It's just basically indicating where the player was when he first got on the screen for the hypermotion replay. Another reason why EA should get rid of those hypermotion replays, man. Scrap them, we don't want them, man, seriously. We only need the default 2 and the basic ones as well. There's nothing basic about this man's play today. Higgins has been much better today, much more aggressive, demanding the ball, getting the chances, took one, and I feel confident we'll have another one before the end of the game as well. But will Manchester United, defensively really good today, really good indeed, so much better than we saw at the G-Tech, as Amin skips away and comes inside and rolls it through. And Luke Harris makes it 2. Oxford United on course for their first win against a traditional top 6 team in the Premier League. Into the final 20 minutes, almost there. Let's hold on to the clean sheet and hold on to our first Premier League win as Jamie Cumming does well. And we should get the danger away. So much better defensively. Oh dear, what was that? There we go. I just wanted to make another tackle. I just wanted to show off how good I've been defensively in this game here. But yeah, much better. Much better. I think that's a problem with me as well, is that I capitulate so often in a lot of my games as well. It's like, last season I did it frequently. You know, I go a goal or 2 down as Higgins completes the route to make it 3, and I just throw in the towel and go from being 2-0 down to 5-0 down in a blink of an eye. I've got to be better than that for this season, and this has been much better. Not just from the individual, but from the team as well. Higgins gets his first 2 in the Premier League this season, and Oxford United are going to get their first 3 points with their first scalp in the Premier League as well. The Kassam finally can celebrate a Premier League win in Season 4. But that'll do it for today's episode of the Summer Career, guys. Big fan of you. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. Much love to you. Have a great day. And we'll return in the next one with the Carabao Cup against Manchester United away at Old Trafford in the following game. And then we will have the more youth scouting and more Premier League games too. Have a great day. Much love. And I'll see you for the next episode very soon.